When you find yourself off track, how do you get back on? Do you just kick it there and hope the juju comes back for you? Or do you actually have a plan to get back into the groove? All great questions, right? Because let's face it, life be out here lifing. If there is one thing life gonna do, that is happen. So what happens when you experience a significant loss, get distracted, derailed, or even discouraged? How do you recover? And not just recover, but reignite into some momentum so you can get your and the hey back. I'm giving you all the goods on 6 steps you can take to get back on track. You have the ability to get yourself back on track. Honestly, getting off track, it's just a part of it. It comes with the territory. Do not get discouraged or beat yourself up for a natural part of the course. The key is bounce back faster and even more focused and determined to get back into the swing of things and building that momentum you need to propel you forward. Calling all superhero ladies. Are you a busy woman looking to level up your life, ready to say goodbye to the energy slumps, scatterbrain moments, and stressing trying to squeeze everything into one day? Dump multitasking and master being in the moment, because if you are done with your days running together and feeling like one big major blur, or worse, feeling lost or like you don't even know yourself anymore, let's get you back into your day by feeling the day and being present. I've got just the solution for you. Join the waitlist for the Amplified Encouragers group as I show you how to amplify every aspect of your jam-packed schedule, have more energy, focus, and time to chase your dreams while doing all the things, from supercharged productivity hacks to mind-blowing self-care tips. I've got your back and your funny bone too, and get ready to conquer the world while still rocking that superhero cape. Go to the show notes and click the link to join the waitlist and be the first to get all the goods in this group. Click the join the waitlist link in the show notes and save your spot. In the midst of doing all the things, you can do all things and chase your dreams. Stay encouraged as we go on this journey called life, tackling everything that comes our way while we shine our light despite any circumstances we face. No more downplaying or dimming your light, because through the good, the bad, and everything in between, together we can encourage over everything. Encourager! I hope this message finds you well and granting yourself some grace. Trust me, it gets hard out here in these streets. Whether you feel like you haven't been doing much or you feel like you've been doing too much, but maybe not enough of all the right stuff, wherever this message finds you, I hope you grant yourself some grace. I recently had a conversation with a friend who had a super significant loss and felt very off track. Have you ever been on a roll, like really picking up momentum, the kind that you wanted, things are just clicking along, and you know that any second the big click is gonna happen, and then boom, life happens instead? I think it's safe to say we've all been there, yet it can feel like a very lonely place, as if no one on earth has ever gone through this or can relate. Our beautiful human brain loves to play these types of tricks on us. So first and foremost, please know this is a normal human experience. And this is why I'm so passionate about this topic, because I want to normalize getting off track and the feelings, emotions, and thoughts that come along with that. encourager. Are you ready to supercharge your mornings and make the most out of your day? I've got something super special for you that will help give you the motivation you need to jumpstart your mornings and amplify your productivity. You've got to get your hands on the Amplify Your AM freebie. Get ready to conquer your day like a boss. Let me tell you why this freebie is a total game changer. With Amplify Your AM, you'll receive a powerful toolkit packed with simple morning rituals and motivational strategies to help you unlock your full potential. Imagine waking up feeling energized, confident, and ready to take on any new challenge that comes your way. This is your opportunity to design a morning routine that will set you up for success. Discover and implement practical strategies to increase productivity. Create a morning routine that aligns with your goals. Develop habits that will empower and motivate you and organize your day for maximum efficiency. Ready to transform your mornings and maximize your time? Click the link in the show notes to grab your Amplify Your AM toolkit now. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to kickstart your day and achieve your dreams. And tag a friend who needs a productivity boost, and let's crush those goals together. Remember, encourager, every day is a new opportunity to rise and shine. Don't wait any longer. Get your Amplify Your AM freebie today and start creating your dream mornings. You got this. Click the link in the show notes and amplify your AM today. Being derailed, the distractions and discouragement come along with the journey of living this life. And especially if you plan on doing anything great, you really have got to just anticipate this as par for the course. If you are experiencing a loss of any kind, feeling derailed, distracted, discouraged, believe me, my heart is with you. These feelings are a part of the human experience. We are meant to feel them, but they are not final. I especially want to speak to your heart when I say your feelings are not final. This place where you are is not your final destination. You get to have a say in the finale. You are a magnificent creator, and you have a say in how this chapter plays out. Now, from this space, let's build on how you can get back on track. To know me is to know I want it to be easy. I want things to come with ease and simplicity, so I strive to create that wherever I can. Now, listen, this does not mean that I ignore or negate the hard, because once again, the hard just comes with it. It's a part of life. And listen, I can do that too, okay? But do I want to do it the hard way? No, absolutely not. I want it with ease. So I encourage you to create ease wherever you can in your life. Stick with me, babe, and I'll help you do just that. So speaking of, let's dive right into the 6 simple steps that you can take to get back on track. The first step, realize and accept it's normal. It is par for the course to get off course, okay? So grant yourself some grace. The process of growing and evolving, it is not linear, meaning it is not a straight line. You are not going to go from here to wherever you want to go without the ups, the downs, the side to sides, the side steps, the back steps, the baby steps. Like there's no getting around the process. And for as much as we love to create simplicity in life, we have to understand that the ups and downs, the hard times, the good times, the great times, all of it just comes with it. So once you accept that and you know that, grant yourself the grace to move through it. It's more important to navigate and how you navigate through those times than it is the fact that the hard times show up. So recognize it is normal to get off track. If there was no period in your journey where you were off track, how would you know that you're on track, right? You can't know what it feels like to be on track without the contrast of feeling what it feels like to be off track. So trust and believe it's a part of the process. Accept that it's normal, it's going to happen, and you will grow and become better because of it. So much of our hard times is really not about us. And I know that that might sound weird, so let me clarify. Yes, there are benefits that you gain from going through the hard times because you will gain the experience, you will gain the wherewithal, the knowledge, the wisdom. You are going to gain tools and build character and strength. There's so much that you gain from going through your own hard times, but it's not just for you to go through and grow through. Your hard times are also for someone else. Someone in your life may too fall on hard times, and you will be able to encourage them through it because you've been there. And they will be able to accept it coming from you because they will know that you've been through it. Our human experiences that bring us so close together and really cultivate that feeling of resonance, it is so empowering and encouraging and inspiring. That gives us the hope again that if someone else can make it through, or if someone else had an even more difficult time, if they can get through it, then there's hope for me. There's hope for you. So trust and believe your pain serves a purpose that's greater than you. So no, it's not just for you. It's also for the people that you will help along the way. The second step, and this is super important, you have got to recognize what season you are in. There is a difference between the seasons that we go through in life. We have what I like to call the successful season. This is your flow season. This is when everything is clicking and working together. Your personal life is popping. Your work life is popping. Everybody's getting along. You're so happy. These are the really amazing times where you're experiencing bliss because everything is just flowing and it's masterful. And we love being in flow. And I feel like when you're not in flow, you're just constantly trying to work your way back to that blissful state because it just feels so great. But then we also have what I like to call survival season, where, listen, okay, it's hard out here. We just trying to make it, okay? It is just time to survive. Like, listen, if that means it's box pizza for dinner tonight, hey, it could be worse. Okay, it could be way worse than box pizza. But you have to know what season you're in. And we can create a lot of angst and anxiety for ourselves when we are in survival season, but we're expecting to behave as if we are in successful season. It just doesn't work like that. So make sure that you understand, how do you operate in your successful season? And then also know what it's like for you when you are in your survival season. What does survival mode mean to you? Maybe your house isn't as clean as it usually is when you're just trying to survive. Maybe there's less home cooked meals when you're just trying to survive. Maybe it means less time out with friends because you're trying to survive. What does your survival season look like to you? Know that mode of operation so that way you're not comparing that space that you're in to how you're supposed to function when you're clicking on all cylinders and you're doing all the things. So if you can understand what season you're in and what that mode of operation is, you will cut yourself so much more slack. And it will make going through the hard times easier on you because you're not carrying these unrealistic expectations that you're supposed to be doing every single thing. So know your successful season, know your survival season, and act accordingly. in a world where you are busy. You've got a household to run, crazy kid schedules, work, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. With all the adulting going on and all the roles you're working so hard to fill, it can cause you to forget about one of the most important relationships that you have, the one with you. Whether you've just been too busy making everyone else's world go round, or maybe you're living according to what somebody else thought was best for you, or maybe life just happened and it's got you feeling like you don't even know who you are or what you want anymore. There are so many things that can distract or disconnect you from your inner knowing. Go from feeling lost or disconnected to reconnected with the Reignite Your Inner Knowing roadmap. Get you back in touch with yourself and feeling like a priority on your own list. Knowing your desires and what you want at this season in your life, you can live the life of your dreams. And it starts with the connection you have with you. Check the show notes to get the Reignite Your Inner Knowing roadmap. It's your time to get back in touch with you. Click the show notes and get started. Step 3 is to ask yourself, what do I need? And this has recently become one of my most favorite questions to ask myself even. And I always encourage my clients to ask themselves this question because you more than anyone know what you need. And if you're struggling to know what you need, it just means that you are not being still long enough to listen. So look at yourself as a whole. What do you need? Do you need to take better care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, financially? Do you need to take better care of your soul? What is it that you need? Address yourself as a whole. And once you know what you need, make sure that you set up the steps to take to actually fulfill that need for yourself. So oftentimes we're looking outside of ourselves for something that we ourselves need to give self. So take a look, ask yourself what you need, and be open and honest with yourself, because that's the best way that you're going to address your own need. And then once you know what you need, then ask yourself, what do I need to do to get back on track? Do you need to listen to a podcast or an audiobook? Do you need to go to a seminar? Do you need to connect in a group? Do you need to meet up with a friend? What is it exactly that you need to do to get yourself back on track? Is it time to hit the pause button so that you can reset and reevaluate where you are and determine what the next best step is for you? Definitely make sure that you, again, get still and listen to yourself here, because so often you overlook your own answers and you go to your friends and you go to this person and that person, and maybe the advice that they're giving you is phenomenal, but it's just not sitting right with you like an exact piece of your puzzle that completes your picture. So be still, listen to yourself, connect with you, ask yourself what you need, and then ask yourself, what do you need to get back on track and make it happen? The 4th step is to identify your top 3 priorities. I recommend taking the 3 areas of your life that mean the most to you and setting a priority for each area. So it could be your relationships at home, someone or your family in your house. It could be your work. It could be out in the community. It could be your side hustle, your business. Whatever the 3 areas of your life that are of most importance and are priority, set a priority for each area of your life. I really recommend this because so often we will focus all of our attention on just one area of our life. Sometimes it's the business. Sometimes it's work. Sometimes it's the kids. Sometimes it's the relationship. But when you put all of your focus in on one area and then the other areas that are important to you also don't have some sort of forward movement or progress or activity, then you start to feel incomplete and like you're lacking something, and you start to doubt yourself and feel like you're not doing enough, or you're not doing the things that are important and other areas of your life are failing. So to alleviate that feeling, I strongly recommend pick 3 priority areas and 1 priority for each. Step 5, it is time to make your plan to achieve these priorities this week. That's right, this week. And make sure that you block time on your calendar for each of these priorities. Please, please, please do not skip this step. You will find yourself looking back next week and you will be like, oh my gosh, I didn't get through any of my priorities that I set, right? It's because they were not on the calendar. My famous line is, if it's not on my calendar, it does not exist. Okay? So make sure that your priorities show up on your calendar. So often we will schedule work and the kids' schedules and everyone else's schedule ahead of our own. And then we're trying to find the bits and pieces of broken time where we can fit ourselves into it. And that's just not the way that it should work. Your priorities should be number 1. You should be a part of those priorities, by the way. So your priorities are you and whatever else you deem as priority. Those things need to be on the calendar and addressed first, and then everything else after that. Your work should not be scheduled ahead of your life. Okay? All right. So make sure that you got your priorities down and they have a place to live on your calendar, because the likelihood of you actually taking the action to complete that priority this week goes up exponentially. And the very last step, and this you know what? The order for this one, you can really sprinkle this in anywhere because it is just as important as all the other steps. But I really want you to promise yourself that you are going to give you some credit. Put some respect on your name. Compliment yourself. This is a piece that is really missing in terms of self-love and self-care. Compliment yourself. Our internal dialogue is often so negative, and the doubt and the downplaying of self happening in the mind is rampant. One way to help shift that into more of a positive conversation is to compliment yourself. Recognize yourself for the things that you are doing well at, the things that you excel at. So how are you going to celebrate your wins? Set up time and space to appreciate you for the intentions that you set, the effort you put out there, the progress you make. Make sure this too is on the calendar. It is so important to celebrate your wins. I can't stress it enough, because without celebrating your wins, you're on this long road, this journey to become and achieve the things that you've set out to. And when there are no celebrations along the way, you don't acknowledge how much progress you are actually making. And then your mind starts playing tricks on you and you start thinking that you're not making any progress. It's only because you haven't acknowledged the progress that you made. So make sure you give yourself credit, compliment yourself often, and also have points of celebration on your calendar where you are going to celebrate the progress that you're making. I love sharing my favorites with you. My favorite app on my phone is the Growth Day app. The journal feature is everything. If you want to be able to journal literally anywhere you have your phone in hand, this is for you. If you don't know what to write, no worries. You will want this for the science-backed journal prompts alone. It's a great place to reflect, explore, gain new insights, and level up your perspective. This all-in-one personal development app has a great plan section, a place to capture your life scores, and so much more. Now, if you love self-improvement as much as I do, you are going to love what Brendan Burchard has put together. Check out the link in show notes, and I'll see you there. I'm adding in this pro tip in case you may be wondering why I put such emphasis on putting things on the calendar. Just imagine yourself looking back at your calendar for the last 2 to 3 months, just taking a glance at it, and you actually see things on your calendar that isn't just everyone else's agenda. You look at your calendar and you see these wins that you achieved, and you see some celebrations happening on how you actually gave yourself props and celebrated your wins. Think about that kind of momentum that generates for the next month or the next quarter. And ooh, now you cooking, babe. See your wins and progress. It's proof and evidence of what you're capable of, especially when the doubt creeps in and your mind starts playing tricks on you. Listen, Ghetto Boys knew exactly what they were talking about. I digress. Me and my hip hop classics. Okay. The more examples you can give yourself of the progress you are making, the greater the motivation and momentum you can generate that will actually carry you through. This increases your confidence, your belief in you, and your self-esteem. So invest in you, and you'll earn abundant dividends. My dearest encourager, you have the ability to get yourself back on track. Honestly, getting off track is just part of it. It just comes with it. So do not get discouraged or beat yourself up for a natural part of the course. The key is to bounce back faster and even more focused and determined to get back into the swing of things and building the momentum you need to propel you forward. Listen, life is going to do its thing. Sometimes you'll have many hiccups, and other times you'll get hit hard and the wind just gets knocked out of you. But you can get up. The more you train yourself to deal with life's adversities, the quicker you get back up on track, stronger, with such swift focus to shift, adjust, and go. That's really what mental agility is all about. Building, strengthening that mental muscle to handle, cope, and live life. So practice, practice, practice. If you shift your mindset to view life's challenges as choices that you get to make, it will mean so much more to you. And if you can accompany that with the practice to build your mental muscle, you become the calm in the storm, meaning no matter what's swirling on around you, you remain calm, centered, and respond from that space. This is a testament to your mental agility. Listen, life will happen to all of us. It's how you train yourself to respond that shows your mental, spiritual, and emotional maturity. Let's grow upward in the way we look at how life happens to us. We know life will happen, but what will happen to you and within you as a result of it is what matters most. You get to decide. I'm here to remind you, you have a say. Design it and live it out your way. You can recover elegantly, strategically, and masterfully. Practice, practice, practice. Take what this opportunity is giving to you. Use it for what it's teaching you, building and strengthening in you, and use it for your good. Life happens, but you are what's happening. It's what's happening within you that really deserves all the attention. In these moments is when we are experiencing our greatest growth. Being an encourager over yourself and others means you will encourage yourself and others over everything that happens in life. That includes your ability to get back on track. You are the key to everything in your life. When you take this accountability and ownership over you and your life, this is where your power resides and where you can make the greatest impact for change in your life. Being on track and off track is simply a state of mind. When you feel off track, use it as a signal that it's time to pause, recover, reset, and take the next best step for you as the highest version of yourself. Get comfortable with asking yourself, what do you need? And being still long enough to listen. You have all the answers. You already have everything you need to succeed. When you feel stuck, it's a sign to reach up and reach out for help. Let me explain. It's not enough to reach out for help. Sometimes we reach out and it's not the right help, or maybe they just don't have the capacity to meet your needs. So if you reach out and it just doesn't seem to be working out, it's time to reach up and then reach out. Reach up to someone outside of your current network. Reach up to a coach, counselor, therapist, doctor, and so on. Reach up and above to the level that will really help you get started. And just as a note, please don't be upset or hurt when people are unable to help you or when they don't have the capacity to help you. It simply means this is not your person for assistance, and it's time to move on until you can get to the next person that is able to help you. I really want to make sure that I really highlight this because it's so important. A lot of times we take it personal when someone can't help us, and it really isn't. It doesn't make them a bad person because they can't help you or they don't have the capacity to help you. It just means they're not your person for this. And guess what? You're going to go and keep knocking on doors until you get that yes. So I really wanted to make sure that I highlight that because I think it's so important when it comes to asking for help. And lastly, I want to encourage you to believe in your ability to get back on track and realize you are capable of anything and everything you put your mind to. If it's in your heart to do, it's within you to make it happen. Encourager, I am so proud of you. It takes a lot of courage to say, I'm off track and need help getting back on. If you can get off track, you can get back on. Always remember that. The journey is not linear. There is no straight line to excellence. You will not be exempt from the human experience. It's just going to happen as you go, which means you'll have an array of experiences along the climb. The key is defining how you will get through these parts of the journey. Your integrity, character, mindset, self-care, all of it. How will you show up when you get off track? My dearest encourager, I hope this really blesses you. Feel free to feel what you need to feel. Allow it to teach you, grow you, and help you continue to become the best of who you are. Encourage over yourself, whether you are off track or on, because together we can encourage over everything. Encourager, Thanks so much for tuning in. My wish for you is to have your encouragement cup filled up. If you enjoyed this episode, there's a few ways to say thank you. Share it with friends. You are a true encourager, sharing encouraging messages to lift others up, because that's just what we do. Leave a review, light me up with some stars, and share your feedback, as this is how we make encouragement a way of life. And to keep the conversation going, connect with me on Instagram at Encourage Over Everything. Check the show notes for today's sponsors and all the ways to work with me and stay connected. I appreciate you. Until next time, I'm sending you love, light, and loads of positivity, because together we can encourage over everything.